Hello, guys, and welcome to Daddy Share Space. So, a few weeks back, maybe about a month or so ago, I almost gave up on working on my 1991 Saab 9000 CD. I had done everything that I could think of to fix the car, and it was not working out. From making my own gasket to buying two different water pumps and reinstalling, and it still had a leak around the water pump. So right when I was about to mail it all in, I decided to check in with Pick and Pull because I was going to have them basically come and pick up the car. And lo and behold, I decided to check their inventory. They had a Saab 9000 1996, but it's a turbo edition in stock. So I decided to pack up the car, and on a Saturday, I went out with myself. My wife and the kids came. They actually stayed in the car while I went in to check the car out. And so I went back there and decided to take a look. So in this video, I'm going to take you along with me. And basically, these are clips from multiple times of me going to Pick and Pull. I went out there a total of 3 days. I think I recorded driving out there on the second day. So this isn't the day that I went with the family. The first day I went out there, I didn't stay that long because I had my wife and kids with me. So this is I want to say the Sunday after that Saturday that I went in and got out there to remove some parts. The first day, so this is a blend of multiple days. It's going to be actually probably a little bit of a clip from the day when I went with my family, when I'm actually on the yard, but then also the second day when I went by myself. And then the other clip is going to be from the third and final day when I actually met a fellow part picker. So on day one, I took the majority of my tools because I had my wife with me. She sat in the car so that I didn't have to worry about my tools getting stolen out of the truck. So I went pretty heavy. The problem is I didn't really feel comfortable staying there that long simply because I had my wife and the girls in the car, and it ended up being a good idea that I left because some unsavory people came up and pulled up next to the truck and was doing some inappropriate stuff. So I'm glad that I went with my first mind and went out and checked on them and decided to go ahead and leave pretty early after the first day. But what I did do is I started pulling stuff off. As you can see here, I'm using my Milwaukee ratchet here, and on the first day I did take a lot of my Milwaukee tools so that I could get a lot of stuff done. But as I said, my mind was kind of divided because I had a family in the car and I didn't want them to have to wait around too long on me to tinker around on the car. So this first day was pretty much more so like a reconnaissance mission for me to see what the condition of the car was in and to see if I felt like there were any parts that I could remove that would either help me to understand the Saab better or that I could actually remove and take home. But on this particular day, I just removed a couple bolts and screws, but I did not take anything with me. It just kind of, just looking over the car and getting comfortable with using my tools at Pick and Pull. I'm always usually uptight when I'm at Pick and Pull, especially when I have my nice tools with me. To start off, I was basically just using the 12-volt ratchet in various locations because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to start on the car. So I guess to kind of warm myself up, if you will, I just started removing bolts and trying to see how easy it would be to just kind of disassemble as much of the car as possible so that I can basically learn more about the car. And then also I would feel, by learning more, I would feel more comfortable taking apart the car at home. And overall, the whole experience did do just that. All right, guys, so we are out at a local Pick and Pull, and I'm going to see if I can pull some parts from a 1996 Saab to see if I can get that car back on the road. We're using a GoPro Hero 9 with a shoulder mount. On day 2, I left all my box wrenches at home, so all I did was take off these gas struts from the hood, just because I didn't want the trip to be a total waste. So that's all I did on day 2 was I looked around for a bit, and once I realized that I had left all my box wrenches at home, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to advance like I wanted to. So I took these gas struts off, and at this point, I was feeling like I wasn't sure if I was going to come back again to work on the car. This was the Sunday that I went out after the Saturday, and it was so frustrating because I wanted to go as light as possible. So I laid out all my box wrenches and made sure I only had one of each box wrench on a table, and I put all the one set in one of my Milwaukee pack outs, and then I packed up all the rest of my tools and proceeded to load up the truck and left those box wrenches right there on the counter. The unfortunate thing is, even when I went out on day 3, I still forgot the wrenches at home, but fortunately I was able to kind of do a little bit more. On day 3, I had not realized that I had left the box wrenches at home, but this was actually on a Friday. I was off work for that Friday, so I decided to take that time to be efficient and productive. So I decided to go out to Pick and Pull, and lo and behold, that was when I met another fellow Pick and Puller.
You got sap?
Hmm?
You got sap?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like this?
Yeah.
What year?
91.
91?
Yeah.
I got 96 Aero.
Oh, okay.
Black color, black interior.
Mm-hmm.
Just a drive 20 years already. You got manual transmission.
Yeah.
Just this
Not
automatic.
many left. It's very hard to find.
I got extra right fender, extra door. Because I got a black color for make sure, because mine, when I buy it, it's got a hit on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy don't do frame job not good.
Mm-hmm.
And some people green and break the
Yep.
fender and door.
Yeah.
And now I just leave it like this, and I just. It's very problematic with the nozzles, I try.
Or you talking about the windshield wiper washing things? Yeah.
This one has got the, I don't know, just sometimes it works, sometimes don't work. I don't know, just like.
Probably clogged.
Huh?
They're probably clogged. You probably have to flush the tubes. You know what I mean? Like when you take them.
You mean the inside the maybe?
Yeah, you take it off, and you flush it, you clean it. You know what I mean? You take it all the way off.
Yeah, this one is very hard to remove because it's easy to break.
Yeah, very true. Brittle plastic.
Just make it like one-time use.
Yeah.
Where you got the camera? You got the YouTube channels?
Of course. Why not?
Not
you don't?
No. Some people told me to do that because I'm drive truck, box truck, and sometimes in a road I fix the. Last year is breaking my engine.
Yeah.
And before Dallas.
Yeah.
And I rebuilt the engine by the truck stop. Nobody see me. I just nighttime with the flashlight in the mouth. Just my wife told me just take the camera. I said, if I get flashlight in my mouth, where am I supposed to hold the camera? How?
Yeah. Well, they have little lights that go on these. You can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just how much you buy this?
Oh, you can get it's probably like $400 or something.
With the bracket and everything, or they just only the camera?
Just the camera. Yeah. This is pretty cheap. The bracket is like, I don't know, $20-$30
I just
Amazon.
When I see you, I just remember policeman. I don't know what
Oh
he
my
doing. What are he doing? Getting a pick and pull,
Hey, be careful, because this right here, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can find something else to prop this up.
I know if that knock, it's not good.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
I was supposed to know which sides need the press. Always get the problem. I don't know why the guys put these pieces in the end. Some kind of vacuum or something. What's this for? What's this for?
What's
You
that?
see all what like.
You can
all
find those at the auto store or whatever. It's just a T bracket. Well, this is a three-way bracket or whatever. You can buy these at the store though.
Yeah, I know.
But this one
what
here, you
for?
should be able to just blow it out though.
What for?
What do you mean? Oh,
Different cars don't have any. Only I see some.
no. Well, that's just because this is the model year. In that year, that's what they decided to solve the problem with, right? So the fluid can go both through here, out the other side, and then through here at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why maybe
It's a low-tech way of
Maybe
solving
I
it.
don't put this stuff because that's why on that side don't water go.
Yeah, it's probably just clogged. And you should probably just take this one off here and put that one on. You know, just take both of them and put them on yours and see if it works. And maybe even take the hose. You know what I mean?
The hose
And just
I already buy it.
Oh.
Now I see it. Where
Yeah, yeah. And you probably want to like take a compressed air or something
Now
and blow
I
it.
see where I was supposed to remove it because over there got very small hole. This one got a little bigger.
Or let me put this one on the other side so it's make sure it doesn't fall.
Now I remove it. Because always I try to remove it and always break it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see. I want to see if I can get this off of here.
You know, yesterday I tried welded some like my clutch.
Mm-hmm.
I press my clutch
Yeah.
and like don't press it, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Something going on there. And then I find out it's bracket what the hold the master cylinder for the clutch.
Yeah. Yeah.
That bracket where's the stay,
Hmm.
that piece metal started breaking.
Oh.
That's why when I press it, there's no clutch.
Wow.
And I go yesterday to my friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
He just welded, put the like very strong metal there.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's good.
Now he told me maybe it's break it. Just I think you be there first, you know. Because I already tried 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
but now I'm 50 years old, and I'm 20, maybe 7. Just I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I already changed so many cars, and that I keep it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, let's see.
Oh, man, that side really hot. My younger brother have 2. He got 95.
Okay.
You got manual or you got automatic?
Hmm.
You got manual?
At home, yeah.
5-speed or 4-speed?
No. I have automatic.
What?
Yeah, automatic. I thought you meant manual, the book for the car. No. Yeah, no, automatic, non-turbo.
Oh, you just basic one.
Yeah. I found that, you know, if you do the research, it looks like all the turbo ones failed. You know, by comparison to the regular
I have
CD.
original turbo.
Yeah?
160,000.
Transmission never went out?
Transmission go out.
That's what I
because
mean.
give to my friend,
Yeah.
and he just.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the turbos, they it looked like it was too much power. They didn't make the transmission powerful enough for that turbo.
Because this turbo have, I think they have 25 horses. Mine have 75.
Mm-hmm.
Just my transmission broke down because I give to my friend.
Yeah.
And he drives Civic. And for this car, I need to press buttons when you put the reverse. He
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
press it. He just and he killed my rear speed.
Mhm.
He killed first speed,
Mhm.
killed third speed, and fifth speed. I got only 2 and 4, and you know,
Mm.
and I still keep it. And plus, my car have only KM transmission only 95, 96, 97, and 98.
Mm-hmm.
If you got it 94, 93 and 94 transmission don't fit. Manual transmission. When the guys make it like that?
So you have to buy a new car.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yes, I like this one because have the shocks inside the bumpers.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it because so many people hit me in the back, and I got no problems, and the guys got problems. So, because I told you got the junk car, you know, that's why you got problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Car don't have damage. I changed for my radiator because that plastic started breaking. And I changed the dashboard radiator too, and that's it. And all I just changed only brakes, oil, and that's it. Brakes, my original. You just let down or just take it?
What's that? Oh, the carpet?
I like your roof liner. Last time I just pull out, take mechanic to remove it. I remove it and I don't install right away, and I install after like 1 year. And now it's like again, and I feel like you right now, and I don't want to take it, and I just tired of that.
You know, on mine, I actually took it out and I recovered it. I went and got fabric and used spray adhesive and recovered it.
So many times just easier, better I think go to somebody and give it, pay money and he do it.
Oh yeah, it's too much money. Too much. I'm too cheap.
No, that fender liner, if I know some guy who just make $100.
Oh really?
Just you can put any color. Just only difference, I wanna put black, and then you're supposed to change the sides black, and then the roof black, and roof how I remove it. You know, I just try it and just can figure out. You know.
You mean the roof, the roof, inside?
The cover. If you got all black, what do you think that piece be white?
Yeah.
Then I remove the roof.
Are you talking about by the moon roof, by the sunroof?
Yeah, I got the sunroof. You got no plastic this one?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to this, to the
radiator.
Not the radiator. The radiator is broken in this one. I checked it out the other day. It was broken. I'm trying to get to the condenser coil.
Oh.
I want to see.
This gets splitting with there. You need the.
Yeah. I just need to pull it forward. Yeah, this one here. And this one. Okay. Let's see this one here. It's a small one.
You try remove this one piece or this?
The one behind here.
Oh, the intercooler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just need over there.
Yeah, and down here. This one.
Oh yeah, one.
And remove this hose.
This one you can cut, or this almost like move.
Yeah.
You know, one time I got a broken piece with the old piece with the transmission.
Mm-hmm.
But my manual is broke down, and then one time I go pick and pull and take it from the automatic. It's same, just a little bit stronger, like this big.
Uh-huh.
For stick shift like this one,
Yeah.
and for this one like this one, it's much stronger. It's never break it. Just I don't know why the guys put it transmission big one and for manual is small one. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And purpose, you know, for this. If you broke down, you go to dealer. Dealer last year make it 2010. That's it.
Yep.
I got before 995 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Just I got station wagon. If that car I have the manual transmission, I will keep it. Just I got automatic and only difference I changed beginning 2000 miles twice engine because the
Where did you get your engine from?
I just buy it from Pick and Pull. Just engine is good. Just only difference my nephew drive not good.
Mm-hmm.
He drive no good, he killed the engine, you know. Just, he said, you know, is your oil leaking? I said, when I give to you, oil don't leak. Now it started leaking, you know, just how you drive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And beginning 3 years, his mom buy for him like 5 cars.
Yeah.
He was talking, if you change 5 cars beginning 3 years, and you never fix the cars, what's going on? You know, tell me. Is it problem with you or with the car? You know? Some people not understood. I mean, they think it was, oh, it's car is salvage. Doesn't matter if salvage or clean title, you know.
Yeah.
Depends who drive between the steering wheel and the seat, you know.
That's
People
right.
not understood that question. Why? Because two seat, person seat.
Mm-hmm.
Person drive no good is always car problem, you know.
Yeah. It's how you drive it.
See, I buy my car I buy in after auction, Rancho Cordova.
Mm-hmm.
I buy for $400.
Oh, wow.
And I fit in this side and I right front seat. I
Mhm.
change struts. I fix my wheels because my wheels cost like $1,000 new.
Mm-hmm.
I fix for $150. I put the fender and a door.
Mm-hmm.
Even I got original front windshield.
Mm.
The most of all windshield they change, you know, or some kind of crack.
How did you, what do you have to do to go to the auction?
Huh?
What do you have to do to go to the auction? You just go?
No, I just before that auction where I buy it, now it's closed.
Mm.
Before the big auction over there in the Rancho Cordova,
Mm.
before got some kind of action, I don't know how that. You just write some price for the cars and then drop it the box. Who give more price then take.
Yeah,
it.
they take the car. Mm-hmm.
When I buy that car, some guy after I remove the car on upside,
Mm-hmm.
some guy come over to me and says, I pay you $2,000 for the seats. I just don't know for the most expensive model I have it, you know. I call my brother and ask him, you know, some guy that I give him $2,000 for the seats because I got that 89,000.
Yeah.
And he said, maybe you got the Aero model. That's why it's expensive, you know.
Yeah.
And I got different bumper, different side scores, got different seats. I got the Recaro seats there.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, no, I don't want to sell it. I want to keep it. And I say I keep this car very long time. Okay, I gotta go. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. For the rest of the time at Pick and Pull, I just spent my time removing as many components as I could. I did end up detaching the water pump, which gave me some insight into what I was doing wrong in regards to the water pump on the car at home. So that was super helpful. Being that my car is not a turbo, it was a little bit, I'm not going to say useless, but basically wasn't a one-to-one experience with the car that I have, because this car does have turbo and mine doesn't. But it still gave me a little bit more confidence on working on the Saab by basically removing some of the components. I removed stuff like the battery tray, the cooler, the radiator, the water pump, the fan, and a few other components or whatever, just to try to get a closer look at the engine. I mean, I was actually considering pulling the whole engine and taking it home, because I think you can get an engine from Pick and Pull for like, I think it's like $400 or something like that, and then taking it home and putting it on an engine stand and tinkering about with it to see what I can learn. But like I said, my back's up against the wall. I got a lot of different things on my plate. I don't really have a lot of room in the shop right now to do that, so I opted against that, and I just went ahead and just, once that gentleman left, I just pinned my ears back and I just started, removing parts. Now, unfortunately, as I mentioned before, I didn't have my box wrenches, so it made things a little bit challenging. I was doing a whole 2-ratchet action and using some channel locks or not channel locks, channel locks to hold bolts to take things off, which is a little bit less efficient, at least in my opinion, as opposed to using like box wrenches. But, overall, I enjoyed my time. And while I was there, towards the later portion of the day, there was an air show going on. So several planes were flying overhead. Some of them got really low and really loud or whatever. It kind of stunned me on a couple times while I was out there. But overall, like I said, it felt good to be out there, working on the car and, just getting more familiar with the Saab. Now, of course, I know the Saab is not long for this life, but the reality of the matter is, any kind of mechanical training and orientation, in my opinion, is helpful. And this will help me for any car in the future. And, being able to come out here now, in my opinion, coming to Pick and Pull, the best thing to do is to bring a buddy, so that you have somebody watching your back so your tools don't get stolen. And I think when that gentleman was there, it made me feel a little bit more comfortable, because he was like there in the vicinity, and he didn't come off as a hostile, so that really helped me out. And then once he left, and I also think it made a difference because it was during the week. It was a Friday as opposed to the weekend, where you have a lot of people there. And so for the most part, it almost felt like I had the yard to myself. There weren't a bunch of people hanging around me, so it made the whole process go a little bit smoother. I was able to focus in on what I was doing, and just absorbing as much information as I possibly could. In the future, maybe I'll go back out and do some more videos similar to this. But one thing I've noticed, and I've been using my GoPros when I do stuff like riding my bike, or like if I'm out roller skating or rollerblading, and I noticed that sometimes they just shut off, for no reason. So I'm having some issues with those. I'm thinking about maybe trying to switch to some kind of different brand, maybe like some kind of DJI device, even though I know that there's some issues with those as well. But the GoPros have been giving me a lot of problems lately with, I know my Hero 9, it just turns off and turns on its own. It doesn't even, it won't, if I power it off with the battery in, it just turns back on its own. The battery drains very rapidly, or it just freezes in the middle of recording. So it's quite the pain in the butt. I have so many different aspirations and interests that, I know that I'm never going to get to them all, but it makes for a full life to keep your plate full of different things that challenge you and stimulate your mind. I've mentioned I want to get an engine stand. And the reason for that is so that I can bring engines home and actually work on them. The way that I think is, in my opinion, is very unconventional, because, like, say for instance, with this particular car, if I was in a different situation or a little bit more advanced than where I am now, I would pull the engine. I would put it in the back of my truck. I would bring it home. I would go buy a Pick and Pull engine stand. I would put it on the engine stand, and I would have it in the garage so that, as I mentioned before, I can work on it. But in order to do that, right, I need to figure out this whole thing about making cabinets in the garage. And then once I finish making cabinets in the garage, that way I can put away my woodworking tools away from my mechanic tools and just make the garage more of a transformative shop where I can do different things at different times. And that's where I realized I'm going to have to get rid of that MFT, the big one that I built, and probably replace it with some kind of folding table, whether it be, like I said, one that I make, or whether it be a table that is like either a dashboard or a bench dogs or even a Festool, whichever table example that I want, or whichever table type that I choose to use. The goal is to put myself in a position where I can collapse things down and be able to go from woodworking to auto mechanic working to whatever else I need to do. A lot of the things that keep me back is the fact that, through and through, I'm a DIYer. I don't just DIY like a lot of people. They have their woodworking channels, or they may have their auto mechanic channels, or some people have their lawn maintenance channels. I'm not a professional in any of these things, but I do all of these things. I'm trying to, I even bought a sewing machine, and I actually did a video on it, but I never uploaded it. I bought a heavy duty sewing machine because I wanted to teach myself how to sew, so that I could, sew things like upholstery and redo couches. I've actually, my wife and I, so my mother, she knows how to reupholster furniture. She's a registered nurse and retired now, but she knows how to reupholster furniture. And when we lived in our apartment down in 790 down in San Jose area, they we found a sofa that had been thrown out, and we worked together to recover it. And then when we moved to where we're living now, we had some two little love seats that we actually recovered. I might do a little video where I upload some of the images, because I don't believe I did video on that. But I just have a wide variety of interests. I am not limited to one type of skill, or one type of, my imagination is just unlimited. Anything that I can possibly learn, I want to learn it. I mentioned, I think in the last video, about wanting to get into metal work and welding. I can't decide on, one or the other. Like, I look at the multi machines where you have the TIG welding, MIG welding, and then you can get a machine that does a bunch of them. And I've kind of settled in, because of my personality. I would want to get a dedicated TIG machine and a dedicated MIG machine, and get the gases and do all of that stuff, because I don't want to be limited. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. You need the TIG welding to weld aluminum, and aluminum is what I would be using for like MFT builds. So now, of course, if I use nothing more than, like, say, the 80-20 types of connectors and adapters, maybe I can get away with not having to weld. But I think having the skill and ability to weld metals is going to be a great addition into the shop. There's, different things that you may be able to fix or repair on a car, obviously. And it's just a lot of opportunities if you go ahead and, expand, your tool arsenal. If my YouTube channel ever does well, I do want to get a CNC machine so that I can make small parts like that. I did own a 3D printer in the past, but I bought the really cheap, I think it was like I can't remember the brand, but anyways, I think it was a Forge, and it actually went bad on me or whatever. So yeah, I'd love to get into 3D printing, CNC, all of these different things, because being a person that can create things that come out of your imagination, I think, is a very powerful skill set. Being able to repair things that have been made by other people, obviously, is a very powerful skill set. And as I've mentioned in videos before, everything that man makes is eventually going to break. Alright, so you can see here I took a bunch of stuff out. Got all the way down to the water pump on this vehicle here. Got it taken off. Took out the radiator and the what do you call it? And the condenser. So there's the radiator on the ground. Got that fan, that, these hoses. Took out the battery bracket. Got quite a quite a bit of things out of here. But I left my box wrenches at home, so I'm gonna have to go back and get those.